Well, a very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Satyam Garg, and on behalf of the Franchise India and the Action Coach India team, I welcome you all to a yet another edition of Business Opportunities Over Chai, hosted by the Franchise India team. Like every day, we present before you a unique business opportunity. And, it's the start of 2023. I am sure, a lot of you would be looking at starting your own business or starting with your entrepreneurship journey. And there's no better organization that can really help you do that than Franchise India. The whole idea is to educate you on a business opportunity. And today we are going to talk about Action Coach. So, if you are passionate about building a profession within the professional coaching, training, consulting space, you can partner with the world's number one business coaching organization, Action Coach, and look at helping entrepreneurs, working with them very closely on a day-to-day basis, and making a very, very rewarding and a very, very fulfilling business for yourself.
World abundance through business re-education. Since 1993, Action Coach business coaches have lived that vision by helping business owners across the planet build great companies, create more jobs, and truly grow their communities. Real people getting real results. We've always believed that being in business should give you more life, and right now we believe in something even greater. The abundance of those amazing business owners, the abundance of the employees in those companies, the abundance of providing free education to every business owner and every local or national business group globally. The abundance of being there for you and every business that needs us right now.
So that was a quick introduction about, the brand that we're talking about, Action Coach. Now, before I move into the presentation, just to set some perspective, Action Coach is the world's number one business coaching organization. We are headquartered at Las Vegas, United States of America, and currently we operate in more than 97 countries. At a business level, if we talk about, we have a franchise network of over 2,100 business coaches, and we coach about 30,000 businesses on a week-on-week basis. So because of the sheer presence that we have, because of the kind of impact that we bring to the business community, we are recognized as the world's number one business coaching organization. And when it comes to building a career within the professional coaching space, there cannot be a better organization than Action Coach. And today, we are going to talk about this at length. We've been in India since 2011. We already have a franchise network of 64 plus business coaches. But just to make it a little easy for all of you to understand today, why a franchise business opportunity? See, if someone wants to become a trainer, consultant, coach, they can always do it by themselves as well. You have the knowledge, you have the experience, and you can start, connecting with entrepreneurs, educating them. And if you go look on the social media platforms, coaching is a very, very booming profession within India as a market as well. But what differentiates between a good coach and anyone who's trying to do it by themselves is the kind of results that you can bring to the community. If you have an entrepreneur on board, ultimately they will be expecting an ROI against the investment that they make into. If they pay you a fee, they would like their business to go to the next level. And that's where, having the right processes, the right framework, proven systems that will help business owners take their business from point A to point B becomes very, very essential. So no matter, you already have the knowledge and the experience, but when it comes to implementation, you need to have the right processes and systems. And that's where, partnering with an organization who is doing this work for the last 30 years, is impacting 30,000 businesses on a week-on-week basis, becomes very, very, very essential. These are the days of Shark Tank, where now business conversations have reached every household. And if you all follow Shark Tanks on a day-to-day basis, you would see that, there are entrepreneurs who have built a very, very good business, but when they come and, they present the business ideas, and when they are asked the reason of why they want investments, one of the major highlight points, all of the entrepreneurs say is, it's just not the money that they need. They also need guidance. They also need hand holding from the industry experts. And that's why I feel that, this is probably the best time to get into a profession like this, because with younger generation of entrepreneurs coming in, you know, the way, COVID has prepared the mindset, that we are always prepared for uncertainty. Now we are ready to take suggestions and feedback from others. And that's where, business coaching as a profession has been booming. It's all, if you would have listened to any of my conversations pre-COVID, I would say, business coaching as an industry is a $2 billion industry. And in just 3 years of time, it's now scaled up to a $16 billion industry. So, that's the kind of potential this has. This is just not limited to corporates, small and medium businesses, but even the startup ecosystem has started absorbing services like business coaching. So this is probably the best time to get into a profession like this. And partnering with Action Coach really provides you a ready-made business opportunity. Now, to talk about the business opportunity in detail, I will quickly share my screen and get on with the presentation. So what you see on the screen is my community of, India and Middle East. We are about 63 franchise partners strong, and all of them have come from diversified parts of life. We have top-notch ex-CEOs, managing directors of various organizations as business coaches with us. We have a lot of chartered accountants, company secretaries, marketing professional, bankers, retired army officials as business coaches with us. So, one of the common questions that I get asked by most of my prospects is, do I need to have prior experience in training and coaching, and then only I can look towards a profession like this? And my answer has always been, it totally depends upon you. Coaching is not for everyone, but someone who's really passionate about it, someone who really enjoys having conversation with people or guiding other people. You become happy when other people succeed. This is what it is needed. you know uh, 80% of my coaches have never had a prior experience in coaching and training or anything of that sort. But, they were exploring different opportunities in life. And for anyone who's been in the professional space, for 15, 20 years, 25 years, this is a normal transition. You've always been directly, indirectly coaching your clients or your team members, and this becomes a gradual progression for you. Similarly, with concepts like business networking, motivational speaking, corporate training becoming so involved in our day-to-day conversations that this is a profession which even a younger generation of people always like. If you would ask me about trends of 2019-20, I would say typical age of my coach would be somewhere between 45 to 65 years. But now what we've seen in the last 3 years, even individuals at aged about 34, 35, 37, 38, 40 years have joined our community, and they are doing some incredible business for themselves. So I just wanted to set some perspective of who it's for. It's for everyone who has, say, about 10 to 15 years of either being in a job or running a business, and now they want to diversify. They want to use their knowledge and skill set to build a business around it. As I've already told you, it's a $15 billion industry value, currently, and it shows no signs of slowing down. Business coaching, the demand for business coaching is going to increase year on year. And, a lot of young entrepreneurs, established businesses, and the corporates will always have coaches as an integral part of their organization. So the best time to get into a profession like this is right now. And with if you see the current trends also, a lot of global organizations are firing people. There are massive layers of happening. So a lot of people would be looking at starting their entrepreneurship journeys. So coaching makes a lot of sense, so that you can coach such organizations that they don't get into such spaces more often. Now, talking about Action Coach, we cannot present this business opportunity without mentioning our chairman and founder, Brad Sugars. He's the guy who started the business coaching journey in 1993. He was just 23 years old when he started the journey of Action Coach. And what he saw, he was based out of Brisbane in Australia at that point in time. And what we saw was a lot of entrepreneurs would start their journey and shut down their businesses very soon. And he started working with them on a day-to-day basis, started coaching them, and the kind of result that he brought to them, it led that, by 1994, the Australian government started funding him to run such programs at a national level, which further led to that, at the age of 26, in the year 1996, Brad had financially retired for life, with the work that he did in the coaching space. And that's where he thought that, if I as an individual can bring so much of impact to the business community, what if I create a profession out of it? And that's how the concept of business coaching was born. Brad moved to Las Vegas, bought a mansion there, and started operating out of that. And since then, we have not looked back. We have taken the business coaching concept to 97 countries. We have helped 2,100 coaches at a global level build a business of their dreams. So that's the kind of impact that Brad brought to the business coaching space, and he's still very active, always there to listen and assist his franchise partners. And in India, the business is led by Mr. Gaurav Maria, the chairman of Franchise India. They are the master franchisees for Action Coach India and Middle East. And when you see, he has had a similar journey where he's been impacting the small and medium businesses, established brands, scaling their business through franchising. So when you have two industry stalwarts in Brad Sugars and Gaurav Maria, guiding you on a business opportunity, you can be rest assured that the results are going to come if you choose to be a part of a profession like this. Now, moving on, if I talk about as in just, yeah. So, I've already mentioned that we are present in about 97 countries. But what makes Action Coach, the world's #1 business coaching organization is the response that we get from our clients. Now, if you're looking at, starting your business journey through buying a franchise, it's very important for you to understand, to measure the effectiveness of any franchise-based organization, there is a global metric called the Net Promoter Score. Very few organizations, franchisee organizations in the world, have a Net Promoter Score of 80 and above. And Action Coach has been having a Net Promoter Score of 84 for the last 12 years. And that just shows that, how effective we are as an organization. We are even rated higher than, organizations like Apple or Airbnb when it comes to, the franchising space. And what makes that possible is the feedback from our clients. 99% of our clients say that, having a coach in the business is the right thing and they have got results out of it. 98% of our clients say that, Action Coach has the right systems and processes to help entrepreneurs grow. 99% of our clients say that, having a coach in the business, has helped them get better results for themselves. So see, if this is the kind of satisfaction rate that we have at the end level, you can understand, our franchisees would be doing very, very good for themselves. And that's what makes it, a very, very high profitable business opportunity for you. So now let me talk about, what does Action Coach really provide if you're looking at becoming a business coach, or why become a franchise partner of Action Coach? See, if you want to become a coach, you need to be trained on it. Despite the knowledge, despite the experience that you have, you need to be the coach and, know of how actually you can work with entrepreneurs on a day-to-day basis and transform their lives or the business, for which we take you through an extensive training program. It is scheduled for about 10 weeks where you undergo the training. It's done both online and offline, basis your comfort. And, once you complete your training, you're certified by the world's #1 business coaching organization to become a business coach. Now, once your training is completed, then, we give you access to our proven systems and concepts, resources, tools, templates to help entrepreneurs grow. The kind of content, the kind of strategies, the kind of products that you would need, the kind of technology that you would need, every single thing is provided by us. Right from, your websites to your CRMs, to your coaching platforms, to lead generation strategies, to your sales processes, any and everything that you need to build your coaching business is provided by us. And it's not just provided, we provide you a proven concept. This has been implemented for the last 30 years across 97 countries. So we've implemented things and we have, kind of improved our processes as well. So you get access to all the systems and resources. Plus, once you become a part of the Action Coach community, your first 6 to 8 months go to market is completely taken care by us. We help you get launched in the market. We help you bring, we assist you in your initial journey of lead generation, providing you, with clients so that you can have conversations with them, educate them of how you can help them as a business coach and bring them on board. So, that initial marketing and sales support is also provided by us. And then once you have your clients on board, how you want to go about their journey, any customization tweaking that is required basis the requirement of the client is provided by us. The most beautiful part about Action Coach is while you create a business for yourself, you're never alone. You are a part of a network of 2100 plus business coaches. And at any point in time, you need help, you need any assistance, all you have to do is raise hands, and they will always be there to help you, assist you, support you, collaborate with you, so that you can bring meaningful results to your client's business. Action Coach keeps organizing a lot of global and regional conferences. So you become a part of it, and you can learn from the best of the business minds in the industry. So, like last year, we hosted our global conference in Miami. This year, it's our 30th birthday. So we are hosting it in Phuket. So coaches from all around the globe will get together and be a part of a knowledge building event, I would say. And you get to be part of such events. You get to interact with coaches, learn from them of what are the best practices they are implementing in their business, and grow your business, coaching business from there. Even your teams, in terms of your marketing and sales team, if they need any assistance, they need to be trained upon, we do organize dedicated team training days so that you can learn, your team members can also learn about, how to sell coaching as a service in the market. you know uh, what I mentioned at the start, you just don't undergo a 10-week training program to become a certified coach with us. This journey is of continuous learning. So month on month, there are refresher training sessions that we organize. Our coaches do a lot of conversations among themselves. A lot of hand holding and accountability sessions are organized. So, you have access to the training resources, and it's an ongoing process. Every year you can take one refresher training absolutely free of cost. So, that just ensures that, it is a continuous learning and improving program for anyone who's joining the Action Coach community. As the master licensee, we work with you very closely to assist you with building your coaching business. So yes, we organize a lot of accountability sessions, conversations from a day-to-day basis. I have already mentioned, when you become a part of Action Coach, your first 6 to 8 months go to market is completely taken care by us. So our team of account managers work with you very closely and assist you in any way that you need help in terms of building a coaching business for yourself. Now, if I talk about our training programs, as I said, it's scheduled for 10 weeks. It starts with 4 weeks of pre-training, which is self-paced online. So there are videos to watch, books to read, and it basically makes you familiar with the Action Coach concepts and terminology. Then, you enroll for a 10-day live training program. You have an option to either do it at our Las Vegas office, or you can even do it, online virtually over Zoom as well. For the first time in the last 3 years, we are actually bringing the Action Coach 10-day training program to India. So this year in the month of July, we are organizing the 10-day training in India. So if you want to be a part of the India training, or you want to do it at Las Vegas, you want to do it virtually over Zoom, there are multiple options that you can choose from. Once you have completed your 10-day training, you become a certified coach with Action Coach, and you can start your coaching journey. But simultaneously, there is another 90 days of post training, which is again self-paced online. Whatever I've spoken about today, it's just been about 15 or 20 minutes into the conversation, and I've given you a brief overview of what the business coaching industry is all about and what Action Coach brings to you as an opportunity. But trust me, these 20 minutes would not be enough for you to evaluate whether this is the right business option for you or not. For which we have you will have to deep dive into it further, and for which we have a 3-step process, a no commitment, no obligation process. The idea is to help you, farm you with the information, and then you can ultimately decide whether this is something that makes sense or not. The first step is to attend a toolbox tour. So during my presentation today, I've spoken about, the systems, processes, technology, products. Now, what are these? Even before joining the Action Coach system, you get to see this. So you can join every Wednesday. My US team runs a toolbox tour at 1:30 p.m. India time. So you can be a part of it, get to see the Action Coach system, and really ask yourself whether this system will help me create a profitable coaching business or not. If this makes sense, then the next step is to connect with some of our franchise partners, understand from them of why they are with Action Coach, how their journey has been, the challenges, the work that is needed at an initial level to build a coaching business. So you get the live feedback from our franchise partners, and we connect you with them. Then we invite you for a conversation with our global CEO. His name is Vic Ciuffetelli. He's based out of Australia, been with Action Coach for over 22 years. He's someone who's built the franchise network across 96 countries. So again, a conversation with him can really help you understand what it takes to be a good business coach and why Action Coach can be the right opportunity. If you go through these 3 processes, trust me, you will have enough information for you to decide whether this is excited enough for you or not. But if there are any unanswered questions, myself and my country manager Shobhit Yadav are always there to assist you with any of your unanswered questions. Now, since this is a franchise-based model, and this is my last piece of the presentation, we have different models that you can choose from. So starting from a firm model where you get regional exclusive rights for a territory, you can build a community of coaches under yourself and run it like a structured coaching business. Or you can look at a franchise model where you can work with a small team of coaches, say up to 2 coaches, and still run a structured coaching business. See, what happens is, when you build a team of coaches under you, it's just not you who's involved into coaching, but your team also does it. And whenever they are coaching clients, it brings in a lot of passive income potential for you as well. And our coach today is a firm owner, so we are going to talk about these models in detail. Or, if you are at an initial stage where you're looking at starting your entrepreneurship journey, you can always start as an individual licensee as well, where you get trained, you get certified, and you have access to all the systems, processes, and the support that I just mentioned in my presentation today. So you can start your journey as an individual coach as well. Now, these are more of franchise-based options, I would say, where either you can start by yourself or you can start with a team of coaches. But if you're not looking at becoming a franchise partner, and you would be interested in working with our firm owners, that is also an option. So you get trained by us and you join the one of our firm owners, and you can be a part of their team, and you can work with them very, very closely. So this is what the models are, and our investments ranges somewhere between 30, about 28,000 US dollars to about 50,000 US dollars, depending upon the models that you would be interested in. But to understand this in detail, we would invite you to, schedule a one-on-one discovery calls with us, where we can farm you with more information, take you through the 3-step process, and help you understand what is the nitty-gritties of each of the business model, and then you can take an informed decision for yourself. So this is what I had to share with you all in terms of the presentation today. Now we are open for questions, suggestions, and I'll also like to invite Coach Sanjay Chaturvedi. He's joining us all the way from Pune. And if I have to introduce him, I'll talk about his credentials later. But if Action Coach has been successful in a market like India, it's purely because of him. It was his vision in 2011 to invest in becoming the master licensee for Action Coach, bringing a concept like business coaching to India. And trust me, if in 2011, you would see business coaching as a concept did not even exist in our market, or there were very limited players, I would say. But he invested heavily, brought this concept to India. He created a team of powerful coaches that really brought some massive results for the business community. And now he's running a very, very successful business coaching firm based out of Pune. He was recently awarded as the Firm of the Year by the Action Coach Global. And, again, someone who was at a prime of his career when he chose to start his entrepreneurship journey, enjoying all the perks of the life at a very, very senior role. And still, he took that leap of faith. And today, he's going to talk about his journey. So, welcome, Coach Sanjay. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's really a pleasure to have you. And, it will really, your conversation or your comments, your thoughts will really help our audience to understand Action Coach as a business opportunity. So, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Satyam, for the opportunity. And it will be great to speak to people who are thinking of starting that journey with us. Okay, just as background for everybody, I did 2 MBAs from Symbiosis Pune, SIBM. I'm a 1990 grad, graduate from Symbi. I did an MBA in marketing at that time. Then I did an MBA in finance. And then for a good 21 years, I was in corporate. So mostly with IT companies, out of which 8 years I was abroad. So 2 years Germany, 2 years UK, 2 years South Africa, 2 years Indonesia. Doing fairly well. So I was a VP in Birlasoft in Noida, looking after Middle East and India, basically, with a fairly large team. And I was at a level where I was interacting with the big wigs, and interacting with the other company heads in the Birla group. So it was in a lot of ways, a lot of people had said, you're on the right track, you have arrived or you're arriving. But somehow, I felt that urge to do something on my own. And at that time, I was 43 or so. I said, if I don't take the plunge now, maybe I won't ever know whether, I would succeed as an entrepreneur. And then I felt at that time that I have the cushion of a successful corporate career and my degrees, etc. So that I had that cushion, but I took the plunge, So I jumped whole hog, took the master license and so on. And it's been a very exciting, initial years was quite scary, just to be frank with you, because right now you have all this support team and everything here in India, thanks to Franchise India. At that time, I was like a commando parachuting into enemy territory, But that I was used to, because in my corporate roles, I was parachuted into Germany once, then into South Africa once, and I enjoyed that challenge. So the first year, it was a little scary, because at that time, you're wondering whether you've taken the right decision or not, because the expenses are as they are, and the income has stopped. Because I was learning a new, changing my identity, shifting my identity to a coach, learning a new. And when people ask me, will this work in India? Will small and medium business owners pay for business coaching? Those were questions I had no answers to, because I was always dealing with the Fortune 500 kind of companies, which were my target customer. And the Indian SME is very different to that. So initially, but then when I rolled up my sleeves and started coaching myself, that's when I realized that there was what I had initially thought, that there's that huge potential that is really there once I really rolled up my sleeves and dove in. So my first client I signed somewhere in 2011. And then there was 1 month, a couple of months later, there was one bumper month where I signed 6 at one go. And then I realized that it's not that difficult to do and coach, especially with a structured system which Action provides. So, and there was always that, I had that thought in my mind, Satyam, that should I do this completely on my own, create my own coaching system?
Yeah.
And because I had that experience, everybody feels they know a lot.
Yeah.
But then as I went through that whole journey, I realized that the IP which has been created, there's a reason why it has been created in this way. And that's why it's taken 30 years, of rich experience and developing order to get to this level. So it's very difficult to copy that, or, without the community support, without the support to just venture out on your own. It may look very glorious, but it doesn't happen like that. So my suggestion is to seriously consider a franchise with Action rather than venturing out by yourself, because I've seen too many people struggling. And the good coaches in our team, as you know, Satyam, they bill between 10 to 20 lakhs a month, which is, when you talk about the investment involved and the billing which is being done, that kind of ROI you don't get in very, very many other franchise options. So if it wasn't, rewarding me both in terms of mental satisfaction of doing a good job and helping companies to grow and also monetary, then why would I continue for 12 odd years? So that's in a little bit of a nutshell. My journey from started as the ML, then went through, became almost like a almost like a coach initially. Then after some time decided that I want something 100% mine and took a firm, something that I could, put in autopilot, which we teach our clients that your business should run without you, and then get into passive income or new businesses. So that's in short my journey.
Yeah. And it's been an inspiring one. We keep quoting your examples whenever we are talking to prospects. And you very rightly mentioned that, there's a mindset that individuals have that, I can do it all by myself. But here is a perfect example, someone like you, 25, 30 years of rich corporate experience, senior leadership roles, all the contacts in place. And yet you invested heavily into buying a franchisee and growing a business out of there. And, you went through these challenges. So, Coach Sanjay, my next question would be around, you've been in the system for about 10 years now. And what do you think has really kept you very close to this ActionCOACH franchisee or the ActionCOACH system?
It's 12 years actually. December
12 years.
December 16th, 2010, I went for training to Las Vegas because we didn't have training here at that time. So we went to Vegas for the 10-day training. What has kept me here is the community of people, the friends and the support that we get from each other. So that close Facebook group, sometimes just picking up the phone and talking to a colleague, So it's like a fun journey that we are all on, and the 14 points of culture of ActionCOACH also are really something which has kept me here because we actually do our best to live those 14 points, as you know. So somewhere we may slip here or there, but we're bound by those 14 points of culture. So what has kept me is really the friendships and, the being part of a bigger community. What has really, there's a client of mine, I have to say, who's, growing at such an impressive rate. There are a few clients like that. And when they give you that respect and the way they look at you and the way they treat you, that also is a very big part of why I'm still here. So there's the small and medium business owner who's fighting his battle, and then you go and help him out with a structured system, whether it's a challenge with time, team, or money. You help him out in those areas, and you see the results happening before your eyes. And then he treats you with so much respect, and you get referrals. So after some time, basically, you don't do any marketing. It's all referral based. So that has kept me within this.
Yeah. We surely resonate this with you, having individuals like yourself in the community. I guess that's so much inspirational to, be a part of it. You get to interact with, like-minded people, you get to learn from each other and just create a fulfilling business for yourself. Now, Coach Sanjay, just for the interest of the audience, what is the concept like business coaching? What do you do as a business coach with clients that, they invest into coaching as a service and, you've been able to create massive impact in their businesses? So if you can just walk us through that.
Yeah. So Satyam, we kind of do a initial diagnosis and help the business owner find out, first of all, get them to introspect and find out what is the real challenges they face. Once we figure out what their challenges, and they boil down to these three areas mainly: time, team, and money. Then when we go and meet them in person, at that time, we explain to them exactly how the ActionCOACH system is going to solve their problem and what is going to be the ROI for them. So there's a very good 13-step sales and marketing process, which we are all trained on, which has been evolved over the years, which helps us, it's designed in such a way that you overcome most of the objections before you actually meet the prospect in face-to-face. If it is followed, you get a 20% conversion rate. My own conversion rate measured is around 48% now. So every 2 people I meet, I convert one. Yeah. So the focus is on them and what is their challenge they are facing, whether it's time, team, or money, and explaining how we'll fix that problem. And if they see a clear ROI, it's not a sales job. We are saying that if you see a clear solution and you clear value, then you go ahead with us. You give us a yes or a no. We're not going to be after your life, following up. But you give us a decision whether you've really seen value from what I've explained and whether it seems practical, realistic to you. And we are usually speaking to very seasoned business owners who've been in the business for many years, or who are sometimes family-run businesses which are second generation, third generation, so on. So once they see the value from the discussion that we have with them after we've understood their problem, and they see that really, by this investment in business coaching is really just a very tiny amount as compared to what returns they're going to get. And if they see that, and we are trained how to show that, they then decide to go ahead with the coaching. So our approach is to figure out what is the root pain area and try. So I would say we are like business doctors kind of thing. So we figure out what is the pain area, solve that particular problem, and get them on a high growth path, so that their personal goals and dreams come true. And they're not feeling like their business is a losing proposition, or they're not stressed out. Sometimes in business can be very lonely for the business owner. So we act as that sounding board for them. They don't take any drastic decisions. There have been several instances where business owners have taken drastic decisions because the business was not working very well. And they were burning out, or there were stresses they were carrying back home. So I believe we do it's a noble profession where you're almost like a business doctor, I would say, where you're going in, understanding what is the problem, fixing that problem, and helping that person in their journey towards their personal goals and business goals.
Very rightly said, sir. We talk about bringing tangible results to business. We are just not a business education organization, but we rather work with them so that, they ultimately take their business to the next level. Yeah. Coach Sanjay, just talk us through, the mindset, typically, when an individual like yourself, established in their jobs would be looking at starting a business, the first thing that comes to our mind is, let's start doing something on the sides and gradually move into this full-time once I see sustainability here. We have a similar question from the audience as well, where he says, 20 years of experience and how can I start my journey on the sides? What are your thoughts? Is it a profession that you need to treat like a side gig, or, someone like you has been into this full time, and does it bring the kind of ROI that is always needed for a business like this?
So this is my personal opinion, Satyam, and I'm going to be blunt. So I would say if you're debating whether to do the job or something else in parallel with this, in my corporate career and in this, I didn't find very successful people who didn't have laser focus on one thing before they went on to another thing. So I would say so cutting that umbilical cord with a salary, fixed salary coming in, a pretty hefty package coming in is not easy. Definitely. Especially if you have, EMIs and kids and everything else to look after, right? So it's not the easiest. But you go through this due diligence process, which you've explained. And when you're ready, my personal suggestion is you cut that cord and go whole hog into this. Because whether it's this business or any business, if you're not laser focused on it, you'll be, riding two boats, one leg on this side, one leg on that side. And chances of success, I would say, would reduce. if you're one of those lucky persons who can, do multitasking and multi things and, have a default diary where you're half the day focused on one thing and half the day focused on another thing, then maybe it'll work. But for me, my personal opinion is laser focus is what will get you to success. And as far as the monetary aspect goes, Satyam, we have one lady coach who's, she's billing in the region of what, 15 to 20 lakhs a month.
Yeah.
Right. And now that's in her own business. So she can expense out all the things that she needs to expense out. So from a tax efficiency point of view, also that probably that 15, 20 lakhs is worth more than that. And that is a very, very serious package, whichever, whether it's, any, and then she's her own boss, right? I'm not doing too badly myself. Otherwise, I would not have continued. So I personally, I would say that on the monetary side of things, you keep aside some 3 to 6 months of your household expenses aside before taking the plunge. And so that you don't get stressed out, so take the time to, so apart from the franchise fee and this, keep some money for marketing, keep some money for your household expenses aside, and then you jump in. So you take that decision when you're at that point. So in my case, when I was a VP in Birlasoft, at that time I was in that position, right? So I had that spare funds available. I had reached a point where I said, no, I don't want to continue in a corporate role forever. So I don't want other people deciding my destiny, is what I thought. I want to decide my own future. And I want to give it a full shot. When I do, then I want to jump in with both feet. I don't want to take half measures. So that was my thinking. It might be crazy. It may be linked to my disc profile also. But I would still say for the high C's, high S's, you still do the due diligence. When you're ready, you cut that cord. And then you go whole hog. You have got all the support you need now. So customer testimonials, there are thousands of customers we have. My own firm, we have 378 present and past customers over the past 12 years, right? So like this, there are many. So you would have a huge customer base. So if somebody asks you, has this worked for this? Most likely you'll find some coach who has worked with whether it's a dentist, a doctor, a lawyer, or a sweet shop owner, or a fitness gym, or a very large corporate. Somebody would have, and we have plenty of these diverse, and that's the fun of it. So as a coach, because I'm a generalist, I'm not a consultant, so I don't have to focus on a particular vertical. So I have got such a lot of learning over these years. So, yeah. So I would say from a monetary perspective, from a satisfaction perspective, from being your own boss perspective, I would recommend it, but with a laser focus. Don't do it half-baked. Don't do it half-baked.
And while you were talking, I just remembered what our master coach, Craig Brewster, used to say, coaching is not a side gig. If you come into coaching, come with a laser focus. And this is a profession where you get the flexibility, but at the same time, you get to choose the kind of clients that you want to work for, the kind of number of hours that you want to put in, and still you will be able to create a very, very financially rewarding business for yourself. Now, Coach Sanjay, you just did not invest it one time, when you bought the master licensee. But when you made this transition that you just want to focus on coaching full time, you invested in buying out a region, a massive region like Pune, Navi Mumbai, Raigad, all these put together. Now, what do you thought was, when we look at coaching, the normal perception is, I can do it all by myself as an individual and I'll be able to work with 15, 20 clients, make good money, and that would be enough. But you took that plunge and, you now have ventured into creating a structured coaching business. So walk us through that model and, how it works and what is the kind of returns that you're getting against that investment.
Yeah. So Satyam, I believe when you're coaching, you have to be congruent. Whatever you're telling your customer, you better be doing yourself. Huh? So we don't want to be like an actor or something. So we are saying something to somebody else and we're doing something else in our. So as a business coach now, or as a firm owner, I'm running a business as well when I'm talking to a business owner. So if I'm telling a business owner, your business should be a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. If the business owner turns around and asks me, so what about you? Have you got a business that can work without you? So if I'm along the journey, certainly you can start at the practice or an EBC level. But my own dream was that I'll create a coaching business. Instead of being only a business coach, I want to create a coaching business. And there's a big difference between the two. Coaching business, then I can have a team of coaches. And as you explained in the previous slide, in a firm, I can have a number of coaches in my team. So then the scalability factor. And then if I decide to put up my feet, in a few years from now, I can still get some passive income from my firm, right? Or I can get a valuation for that firm, which I can sell off, because there's a team of coaches, there's systems, there's a CEO there running the show. That was my dream, that I will create something like that. And in terms of monetary returns, I would say, so whatever I invested, I probably make more than that in a year, every year. And my investment, Satyam, as you know, at the master license level was fairly significant. So actually, it's like 2 firms, more than 2 firms.
Yeah.
So it's I started the firm in 2019, as you know. Then 2020 and 21, basically almost written off because of this COVID. But we still did well during that time too, because we were doing mostly on Zoom and so on. We pivoted just like our clients did. But this year onwards, it will be a breakthrough years for us, for our firms. So I feel that the firm, and so when we talk about the ladder of entrepreneurship, Satyam, from students, we start as students, then we become employees. Then after employees, we become self-employed. After self-employed, we become managers, where we are managing a team. Then we become owners, where the team is running itself. So I want to get into that ownership mode, and then into investor mode, and finally into the entrepreneur mode, which is the ladder of. So those of the people who are on the call, if they want to have a look, they can study that book called Billionaire in Training by Brad Sugars, which explains this.
Yeah. That's a very, very good suggestion, sir. If you're really interested in building a profession in professional coaching and training, it's very important. And, this is one of the good suggestions, that read a book called Billionaire in Training. I'll ask my colleague Mansi to put it in the chat box as well. You can find this book on Amazon. So it's written by our chairman and founder, Brad Sugars. That will give you great clarity on, how you can build a profitable and a sustainable coaching business. On that note,
one more suggestion, Satyam.
Yeah.
All those people who are on the call, they should also read a book called The Business Coach by Brad Sugars.
Perfect.
The Business Coach and Billionaire in Training will give them a very good idea. These are all available off Amazon, so you can back to you, Satyam.
Yeah. I know, sir, I'm buying out your time on a Sunday when you're committed to be with your family, but just 2 last questions from my end before we close. Now, you are looking at appointing coaches in your firm as well. And, just for the interest of our audience, maybe there are people who are joining us from Pune as a city. What is the ideal profile? Someone who's looking at becoming a business coach, and the kind of person that you would be looking at, having in a firm. Can you throw some lights on that?
Satyam, 10 to 15 years experience in corporate or in running their own business, and a generalist view of things, where they've run the show. Even if they've specialized in a particular department, it's okay. I was specialized in sales and marketing. A great positive sort of mental outlook. No blame, no excuse, no denial. People who want to take ownership, accountability, and responsibility for themselves.
Yeah.
And people who who like to see help others to succeed. So it helps small and medium businesses to succeed and derive satisfaction from that. People who are inclined to this kind of profession. So I would say 10 to 15 years experience, positive mindset, wanting to help others to succeed. Yeah, and if they have some general understanding of how a business runs. If they are in corporate, they are at a fairly senior level, and usually we select good performers, very good performers. Because what we are offering them is very good ROI for their time and effort, and giving them freedom also at the same time. So we want good people.
Yeah. So anyone on the call today, if you're based out of Pune, Mumbai, looking at business coaching as a profession, but you would like to partner with a firm owner, there's no other better person than Coach Sanjay Chaturvedi to be a part of someone who's built the profession in a market like India and has brought a lot of impact to the business owners. On that note, Coach Sanjay, my final question to you is, can you just talk us about one success story of your clients, of how they started and what you did with them, so that people understand the power of coaching as well?
Okay, I'll give you two. Okay, so one was a company the first company I started with, and it was really funny, because I just, please remember, I just came off from a corporate role, and so I went in a business suit for the meeting. The lead came through an Economic Times ad that I had given. I got only 2 leads out of that ad. This was one of them. I went in my at that time it was Skoda Octavia. I went for that meeting, blue suit and all that. And these guys were in a small shop opposite, in Pune, there's an area called Kasarwadi. They were opposite Atlas Copco, and they were working out of a small shop. Half the shop was the reception, and there was a sofa there. And in the other half, all 5 directors were sitting in one small place. So, first I got a shock to my system. I said, hang on, what have I done? Whereas as a VP in Birla Soft, I used to be, in Gurgaon and all, meeting the big boys over there, Fidelity and so on. So here, where have I come? Luckily, we decided to join hands, and it was my first client, and they went from that small shop to a 5,000 square foot office in Aund in Pune, which is the upmarket area of Pune. They set up an office in Singapore. They set up an office in Australia. They set up an office in US. The owner started driving a maroon Jaguar and all that. So they finally had a sales team of 100 plus people, is what I remember.
Wow.
The plotting, they were selling plots out in Solapur, and then they came slowly towards Pune, because first generation entrepreneurs, they had no clue. There were 4 very dedicated, very passionate people who implemented whatever we told them. So they implemented the 5 ways, they implemented the 6 steps, and took it really seriously. Took it really seriously. So that was one success story where I saw one company really take off. I mean, unbelievable. And it was my first one. Then recently, there's a company, in Pune, it's in the chemical space. The plant is in Kurkum. And these guys, also first generation entrepreneurs, 4 directors left their job and started this company. From the time they started with me, they were at 16 CR about 3-4 years back. They are now closing the books at 65 CR. Next year's budget is 200 CR with an opening order of 120 CR. And the IPO plan was 2030, 500 crores and IPO. We are probably going to do it in 26. So those guys, and those of anybody who's interested, happy to connect those people. You can speak to them. Just like you're speaking with me, you can speak with them also. So when you see this kind of results, so suddenly the guys are driving Fortuners and Kia Carnivals and everything, and last year they invested in a new plant. They bought 5 acres of land more. Then they invested in a corporate office and an R&D facility. I was after them, you're doing too much capex, but they said, sir, kar dalte hain. So they did all this capex last year itself. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and there's so many such stories that we can ask Sanjay, Coach Sanjay, but see the kind of impact. what business, having a business coach is just not about, improving the business, scaling the business, the kind of personal success, Brad says that, your business only grows when you grow as an individual. So, that's what business coaching does. And most of our coaches, I know Coach Sanjay has been coaching some clients for the last 5 years, 7 years. So they become so used to the coach that, it becomes an integral part of their day-to-day business operations. That's the impact that business coaching or business coaches bring to the table. Thank you so much, Coach Sanjay, for sharing these insights. I know it's a Sunday, but still you took out time to interact, and we really appreciate it. And we wish you many more successes. And yeah, you're someone who's scripting the success for business coaching in India, and we wish more power to you for that.
Thank you for your kind words, Satyam. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. And anyone who on the call today, if you are a business owner, you would like to have a business coach for yourself, we have floated Coach Sanjay Chaturvedi's detail in the chat box. Please feel free to reach out to him and see if, having a coach is something that you're looking at. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. And now that you've invested about an hour with us, hearing about the potential of a profession like business coaching, here is a success story of one of our franchise partners. My humble request would be to go through our website, do some research upon us, schedule a one-on-one discovery day call, and go through the process. It's a no commitment, no obligation process of understanding Action Coach. And if you think this is something that excites you enough, we are more than happy to collaborate and partner. On that note, thank you so much, everyone. Stay tuned with us every day, 12 p.m. We bring a new business opportunity to you. So keep your hunt for the right business on, and let Franchise India help you, guide you while you choose the right business for yourself.